So welcome back everyone, it's the weekend again, and that means it's time to go through and review the pound yen Forex pair to see what it did during the week, see where we could have made some trades based on trading style, and just kind of generally backtest and improve our own personal trading. So if you're new to the channel guys, welcome. My name's David, Millionaire Incorporated, and I like to go through topics of personal finance, wealth creation, self-development, and crypto. And so, as well as that, don't forget, guys, smash that subscribe button, join the channel so you can be up to date with all the latest videos I post. As well as that, give this video a like, I would really appreciate that. And if you have any comments or views on what the pound yen could do moving forward, drop a comment, let me know. I would love to hear from you guys, build a bit of a discussion kind of thing, get some different perspectives. And as well as that, if you are new, I've actually uploaded a full Forex trading course where you can actually learn how to actually trade. So don't feel like you don't have any help anywhere or anything like that. You can actually learn most of this basic stuff for free. So it's actually a playlist in my channel. So just go there and you'll see it quite easily. So it does help kind of build a basic kind of understanding of what or how to trade. And you can actually use these kind of skills in other disciplines as well. So you can actually use it in crypto, which I do as well. And I might show you at the end if I remember, as well as the stock market too. So you can actually, it's a skill which you can actually develop and actually use across other areas and become more profitable. So without anything else, let's dive into the pound yen. So as I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, I've been kind of leaving up my arrows from the previous weeks to kind of see what I was suggesting it might do and then what it did actually do. So let's kind of zoom into this a little bit more. So it kind of opened up this week just here on this candle right here. And so you can see it ended last week kind of rejecting off of this 153 kind of support area, resistance area. And I was saying at the end of last week, we're going to see one or two things might come up, test it again, and then come lower, or kind of break above, retest, and then go higher. Now, this week was actually a pretty uneventful week. You can see for the most part of the week, it was just kind of going sideways. Like it didn't actually make any major moves up or down. For the most week, it kind of traded within like I think a 60, 80 pip range. Yeah, it was like a 70 pip, 75 pip range kind of thing. So it was a very tight range before the end of the week where it kind of finally respected this area of 153 and then dropped lower. So yeah, it was a bit of a tougher week. I'll delete these arrows now. You can actually see a bit more easily. So yeah, so I was saying it's a bit of a kind of tougher week this week, much slower. You definitely tested patience. I only actually took one trade this week for only 40 pips, and I'll get into that in a moment. But there was no kind of real easy setup to actually take a trade from. So as I said, it kind of opened basically at this area here, then just went lower, came up, tested again, came lower. Didn't have the momentum to kind of continue lower to this one of these areas of support like 152 or 151.75. It kind of came down, paused, came back up, tried breaking above, and then eventually just kind of tanked to the downside. So that's literally all it did all week. So you could have pretty much taken a trade on this one candle here or here. This would have probably been a bit of a easier kind of trade, but you pretty much would have spent about a day and a half in loss or carrying a loss until it finally broke lower. And that can actually test a lot of people's patience. And that's where you'll actually kind of find that you will struggle the most when it comes into trading. So let's actually pop this here, the close of that 4-hour candle. Let's enter our numbers as we always do. 40 pip stop loss, 80 pip take profit. And there, that's it. So you can see it kind of came up, would have been close, probably about 10 pips off of that stop loss before finally actually moving lower. And that's what I was saying, you probably could have taken it off of this. Let me just delete this for a second. Off of this candle just here. As you can see, it kind of, as it tried breaking above, finally closed below, came back up, tested that 153 area before actually going lower. So at the end of this one, here's a bit of a stronger signal. This one here is a bit more of a retest, which you don't necessarily always get that kind of retest. And that would have given you an 80 pip top take profit as well. So yeah, so as a kind of, you would have probably looked at taking a take profit at least like 152, 150, 210, kind of 152 area, where we had that drawn in from previous areas. I think it was on a daily time frame that we actually had that one drawn in. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so just from over here that we had that 152 area kind of chalked in for an area of support or resistance, depending on which direction you're traveling in. So we actually respected this area just here. You can see rejected, came back up, tested, exhausted, and then kind of finally came back lower. So we're coming back up to this area here of that support. So also kind of through this area, here's a couple kind of minor areas. So it might be interesting moving forward this week to see how it actually responds to this area. You just kind of want to wait and see what it does before taking trades. And if you're unsure, don't hesitate to just kind of sit on the sidelines and just wait to see what it actually is going to do or what it could be doing. So I'll actually delete this so it's a bit cleaner. Yeah, like I said, it's a very slow week this week, nothing too major. So this week could kind of work off of this area here. That's 151.50, 151.75. So it's just going to kind of see what it actually does in this area. We have been in a kind of bit more of a kind of recent downtrend on the daily, like as you see, lower high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, high, but not a higher high, just a high kind of in the same area. Low, it did actually kind of create that lower low, but these moves have been pretty large lately. So see how we go this week. If it actually gets a break below this area just here, or if it breaks above this area. So what we're trying to see is actually clean breaks above here, or a clean break below kind of here. So you can actually do a bit of a range trade if it actually gets stuck in this area. And let me just grab my arrow. So for the week ahead, we'll actually do that now. So for the week ahead, we're going to kind of see if it actually kind of stays in this range from here and kind of bounce, or wait for an actual breakout of this area, retest to go higher, or break below, retest, then lower, and maybe come down to this actual trend line here. So that's what I kind of see it doing during the week. A couple of options there. Actually, literally 3 trading options there. So you can actually do that. So as it kind of comes back down to this 151.50 area, you can always take a trade if it rejects it or if it touches it, and have the stop loss just below this daily candle here, which is 151.69. So that would be about a 40 pip stop loss anyway, as it is. And same thing as it comes up to here, as it gets to that 152, 153 area, have a stop loss above that 153.40 area. So 40 pip stop loss again. But let's see how many pips it is between, 100 pips, I think, zone to zone. 150. So you could almost get 150 pips depending if you actually want to trade that, like actually that range trading. So range trading is a bit more difficult to do. You got to kind of know where the range actually is. It's easier to kind of trade a breakout of the range, like either as it breaks over the range, or if it actually wait for it to kind of come back and retest it, as I was saying just here. Let me get rid of this. So yeah, so breakout is either if it actually breaks above, you want to maybe take a trade as it strongly breaks above, or if it comes back and retests, then trade it then. Because you can see here it's tried to fake out a couple. It's faked out a couple times through there, faked out below that area just there. So that's what I kind of see. It wasn't a very eventful week this week. Not a lot of clues as to what it could do during the week ahead. It was a bit of a bearish kind of candle on the weekly as well. I'm going to see. Let me zoom in. Just like that candle just kind of opened up, went up a little bit, then just kind of came all the way down and finished the week where it closed. So yeah, so that's basically it for the week this week, guys. Don't forget, if you're new to trading and you want to learn how to trade, jump over to my profile, my channel, and actually watch the videos on my trading course. It gives you all the basics of how to draw support and resistance, trend lines, do fib retracements, supply and demand zones, which is something I don't actually necessarily use anymore, but it's kind of similar to certain things I look at. And yeah, so don't forget, smash that subscribe button if you are new here. I would really appreciate that. Leave me a like. I'd love that as well if you enjoyed the content. And let me know what you're thinking as well in the comments. And I'll catch you guys again next week.